Good morning and welcome to Man Talk. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Susan Joroge and you are here on KTN Life and Style this Wednesday morning. Now, Man Talk is an incredible show that I get to host where I speak to men about men's issues and things that men care about and how men relate. And today we have a super interesting topic and it has a lot to do with you ladies. I wanted to bring men to the table to discuss successful women and why we see a trend of many successful women being single and whether men have anything to say or do with it or it's just an issue for us guys. I'm so excited because the guests I have today are so dope and it's going to be an amazing episode. But you know what we do every Wednesday is I love to give you guys a love message of the week to get you through this week, okay? Now my love message this week has a lot to do with the discussion we're having. My love message of the week this week has to do with your finances. I want you to show yourself a little financial love if you can, when you can. And showing yourself a little financial love is taking a little money and putting it away for your future self. So kama utaweka kwa savings, ama utapatia mama yako, ama utaweka kwa mattress, or you put it in a different account. I want you to show yourself some financial love today. If you do have savings and you have some money put away, look at investment options. If you haven't paid your taxes, ama hujajipanga, call an accountant. If you are having a really difficult financial season, which is a lot of us Kenyans are having, imagine just share na mtu, watu wako na madeni, you have mobile loans, talk to somebody about it and make a plan for yourself. So your love message of the week this week is a little different, but I hope that you guys can give yourself a little financial love. Tweet us using the hashtag ManTalk and KTN Life and Style. If you've done any of this, you can talk to me directly on my social media at Sura_comment. And of course, I have to big up our hosts. We are shooting this episode of ManTalk from here, Jiweke Tavern. It's a dope restaurant space just off Gong Road. They can cater for your events, for your lunches. There's a playground. Good Kenyan food and a bar as well. So thank you so much, Jiweke Tavern. We really appreciate the support. And I also want to shout out my stylist, Wendy. You have me looking cute and feeling great, ready to go meet these men today and have a really good conversation. Excited for you guys to go meet my guests. Let's go and have this Man Talk. I am super excited to introduce you to my guest today. Welcome again. This is Man Talk right here on KTN Home. You can talk to us on social media using the hashtag Man Talk and please use the hashtag KTN Life and Style. Now, Leo, hey, the gentlemen I have here, as you can see, they're looking fresh, they're looking ready, but they also have a lot to say. So I'm going to start off with the gentleman right here on my right, Ezekiel.
Yes.
Odongo.
Ezekiel Odongo.
Otherwise known as Professor, and you'll explain to them.
Professor,
Prof.
majorly outside them known as Kelly Inspiration.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that is your very popular YouTube channel
Create. My YouTube channel is Kelly Inspiration.
Yes.
Instagram Kelly Inspiration.
Okay.
Facebook Kelly Inspiration.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're a man of many talents because you are an actor. You
Yes.
are a transformational speaker. I had said motivational, can you be? No.
It is transformational.
It's transformational because when people
Exactly.
listen to you speak, they are transformed.
Definitely, and that is my main objective. Whenever I'm going to talk, I don't talk just to pass, but I'm gearing my words towards transforming lives.
All right.
That's what I do. If you check my videos on my YouTube channel, you realize the same is true.
Okay.
So acting, I do as co-curriculum. That is just
okay.
a form of entertainment.
Okay.
If you've seen someone acting like Meguna,
Yes.
yes. If you see someone acting like the teacher to Bema, Bema, yes, all those. But my main is transformational speaking. I do training for corporates and all those.
Okay. As you can see the way we're listening to you, we expect to be transformed today.
Definitely.
See, we'll be listening to you speak.
Definitely. Yes.
Then next we have Toxic.
Mzee mwenyewe.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mzee Toxic.
Mzee Toxic. The only MC in Kenya.
The only
MC in Kenya who went for a party with his dad and came back with the mother.
It's very awesome to have you on the show.
Yeah,
I'm very
thank you.
excited to have you here.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for coming through.
Asante sana.
And last and definitely not least, we have Salim.
Salim
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
I was going to say Cyrus first.
Oh, right. You can mention the name.
Cyrus.
Yeah, it comes out nicely.
When
from
I
you.
say it.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
So you are an author and you
Yes,
are
I'm an
also a
author.
life coach.
A life coach too, and a
Okay.
mentor. And that is what I do.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. I have two authors here with me, men of many words.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Exactly.
And of course we have Mzee, toxic.
Thank you.
So the topic that we are going to be discussing today is a little controversial. We have a big question here at KTN Home. I have a big question here at Man Talk. And the question is, why do you guys think that so many successful women, yani women that are really doing well, whether it's in their business or their career, are single? Because it's obviously a common trend. It's at Wanangi tu huku Kenya. It's in very, very many countries. I have several examples, but that's what we're going to be discussing today. And of course, as here on Man Talk, I want to see men's view on things. So obviously, these very, very successful women would want love. Some of them are single and searching, but they find it particularly difficult because of how successful they are. So I want to see from the men's, from the mandem, what is usually the issue when a woman's bank account and her resume is looking very prosperous. It's not per se the great resume for a relationship or even for marriage. So Salim, let's start off with you. Do you think that there's certain things that successful women do wrong, or maybe they do too right? Shida na kwanga wapi?
No, you know, when we ask why we have so many successful women right now and they're single, I think we can go back to why they chose to be single in the first place.
Okay, so it's a choice.
It's a choice, and for them to focus on what they want to achieve in life. So I've figured out that most women, especially nowadays, because of how men are in society and
Yes.
how men have been defined in society, I think that goes back to why women are focusing so much more on being successful. And one of the things, I was just talking to a friend right now, I think we were sharing with Professor
Yeah.
before this happened, and women are empowered
Yes.
so much, and the person called man has been forgotten. But I think as much as they're empowered, there's so much brokenness in the society,
Okay.
and it affects our women so much.
Right.
And now the women decide, now this is what we are going to do. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to do me. I'm going to make sure that I put much work on me and do whatever I have to do. And that leads to why now they're successful. I think there's a fika hapo ndo ni tutaendelea from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prof, he touched on something where he was talking about women have been very empowered. There's been a lot of communication in the world in various countries over the last years for the girl child. You know, that's where it starts. And they always say if you educate a girl, then you are ensuring her future family will also be educated. So there's a lot of women empowerment, and there is still a lot of women empowerment that's happening. And it's obviously necessary. But he mentioned a key thing, that the men's empowerment has been forgotten. Do you feel the same, and do you feel like there's something that's happening with the boy child? So when these successful women are very successful, then maybe this boy child who has become a man, hajui venye wataonana, venye wataanza kuongea. Do you think empowerment is the issue?
Thank you so much for that. I'll handle two aspects of the same.
Okay.
What you said is very profound, that women have been empowered.
Yeah.
Now, in my community, that is the Luo community, we have something we call katunja.
Katunja.
Yes, in English, we call it the catapult.
Oh, yes.
You know the catapult?
Yes.
That you pull,
Yeah.
used to kill birds in the village. Now, you pull the catapult backwards. Okay? Now, the longer you pull the catapult backwards, when you release it, the farther it will go.
Yes.
The society viewed...
Also, I really like Katunja because it almost sounds like the sound that would happen as you're
Exactly,
pulling the catapult.
exactly. Now, our society for many years have viewed women as domestic managers.
Okay.
You give birth to children, take care
Yes.
of children, I go outside and bring whatever I get.
Yeah, it was called hunter-gatherer.
Are you getting that?
Yes.
And as years, I mean, things kept on changing. Most men started becoming very irresponsible. And that really pulled women, and really, you know, women felt like this is serious.
Okay.
So some of them decided to go out because of circumstances, to start looking, because
On
a
their
child,
own.
yes,
The
on
child has
on their
to
own.
eat.
How can that? And because you know, then educating a woman is not something serious. Why are you wasting money on a woman?
Right.
But nowadays, women are educated.
Yeah.
In fact, they are more voracious with education, even more than men. Go to universities, check. They are very serious. In fact, leave alone the population, of course, that is default. But
Yes.
you realize they even perform better than men.
Right.
Because they are more serious. Now, that has now released them. The
Okay.
empowerment has released women, and they're very aggressive outside there, working hard.
Okay.
On the other aspect, there is a proverb in Nigeria that says, what is chasing you determines the speed at which you run. Now, imagine,
No, that's... I'm sorry to stop you there, but that's actually a very good point. What is chasing you determines how
The
fast you
speed,
run.
how
It's
fast
true.
you
It's
run.
like what they say, you know, when there's an animal, like if there's a lion here,
Yes.
they always say you don't need to run faster than the lion. You just need to run faster than Prof who is next to you,
yes,
or toxic,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
So huyo sasa akiwacha nyuma atadeal na lion.
that is
Mimi?
it. So, I want you to imagine
Okay.
a tortoise is chasing you.
Yeah.
Will you run?
No.
You don't need to run.
No.
Or maybe a chameleon is chasing you. You don't need to run.
No.
Just be walking around and watching how he's wasting his time.
Exactly.
How can you do that? But imagine
Yes.
a cobra is pursuing you.
Okay, that's
Believe
scary.
me, that is the day you'll discover that you've been having athletic talent that you've been sleeping
That
on.
you've been letting yourself down.
You will not run, but you'll flee. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Because of what is chasing you. Women, a single mother has responsibilities chasing her,
Okay.
which is a cobra.
Yeah.
A child does not know that you don't have. A child
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you getting that?
Yeah.
And because you don't have anyone you're depending on, you have yourself to depend on, you'll do what it takes to get for the child. And in that attempt, with that zeal, with that enthusiasm, they end up performing excessively. And that is why we see them driving automobiles, not driving, spinning automobiles on the road.
On the road, yeah.
So they have been chased by circumstances,
Okay.
by hardship, by harsh treatment by some people.
Okay.
That is why they find themselves in such a situation
Yeah.
that now renders them successful.
Okay.
Now, also don't forget that women become single mothers for three major reasons. Number one, some become single mothers by choice.
Okay.
I don't want to live with a man in my life, but I will procure children.
I want a family.
I want a family.
I want a child.
So
but
once
I
I
don't
once I
want.
get my children,
Taki mzee huku akiwacha
Yes.
masocks akiniambia nifanye nini, but I want a family.
and there are so many things contributing to that. Maybe the way their father treated their mother, and all
Yeah.
kinds of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Another aspect is a single mother by strategy.
Okay, what's the difference between choice and strategy?
Now, choice by strategy is you have chosen to be single. By strategy, and of course, many people would not want to hear this, but it's the reality.
Okay.
And we've had it many times
Uh-huh.
where a woman spots a man that is successful
Aha, okay.
and says that I want to get a child for this man.
So you make
Then
a
after that,
plan.
I will now rally for child support.
Okay, so you've made a plan in
So,
advance.
and I get the splash of his wealth because
Okay.
of the child that I have.
Right.
That is being single mother by
Strategy.
Now, the
Okay.
last one is being a single mother by circumstances.
Yeah.
You meant it for good, the relationship started well, and you're serious, you wanted a family.
Yeah.
But the man broke your heart.
Right.
Things couldn't work.
Yeah.
And circumstances rendered you a
A
single
single
mother.
mom, yeah.
Maybe
There can be so many circumstances. He could leave the country.
Yes,
He could
could-
leave by choice. He could pass on.
no, leaving the country is not a reason here.
Okay, well,
So-
some
so-
of them
so-
leave by literally
okay,
leaving
fine.
the country. Wanashindanga wanasema, no, narudi. 2 years later, you're like, okay, this narudi is not
that
narudi
is
anymore.
it is in the bracket of domain of heartbreaks.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get in that.
Yeah.
Some probably by death.
Yes.
And may their soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
So they find themselves as single mothers.
Yeah.
So this heaps them with responsibility and pressure to go outside there
Okay.
and look for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I like that. So there's a group of people you touched on, and I want Mzee Toxic to speak about this group of people. You talked about the youth, and you talked about how, as we're growing up, of course, girls and women, you're being put between a rock and a hard place as time has passed. So men were getting educated, men were being breadwinners, were out there, wanna hustle. The traditional woman is at home and doing the domestic work. So it worked. Huyu ako nje anatafuta, mimi niko huku ndani naangalia watoto na naangalia nyumba. And that's how the world was. But now the world came with different things and different challenges, and women got educated. So for you, Toxic, for us young babes, I'm saying us because I'd like to think I'm also a young babe.
Fine babe.
You are.
So do you think that young women work on your mindset of let me go and search for myself, this world is hard, I just need to take care of myself? There's young women who actually want relationships, want families, but they end up choosing success because when I date, alafu wanaona these young men na choro. What's the circumstance? Because hata mbeleni tulikuwa tumeongea story ya mtaa. Na ukasema ile kitu inauma msee mtaa the most ni kukosa cha kukula. Yes. And number 2 is being rejected by a babe.
Unajua mimi kwanza niko hapa ku represent hao watu. So unajua mimi sina kitabu. Mimi si ati transformational speaker. So mimi naongea ile kitu yenye komta.
Komtani.
And actually I'm just a continuing student at the Multimedia University of Kenya.
Oh nice, congratulations.
And apart from that,
shout out to MMU.
Shout out to MMU pale Chafua.
Yes.
Najua mko tuned lakini ushagondo wametune in mbaya. So I'm looking at this whole thing with a different perspective.
Okay.
You see, everyone when they are young, they have that age when they are so vulnerable.
Okay.
And I was telling them, when you're vulnerable, the people who you work with determine a lot chenye utataka kuona kama uko kwa future.
True, true.
Yeah, sana. Kwanza ukiwa vulnerable, mimi sahi ati natembeaga na Mr. Speaker hapa. Sasa hiyo I'm 20 years na hey boy. Yaani unaongea tu napewa 5,000. Mimi ni speaker. Mimi ni speaker. So you find these ladies, the people who they look up to. The single moms.
Yes.
Una imagine kuna madhe huambia dem ati mecha nikushow my dear. Ebu wewe soma na utafute pesa yako. Hawa wanaume. Imagine ukigrow kijuanga hawa wanaume unajua mimi nikipata do ni hivyo.
Niko sawa.
Ma movies zenye si uona hata achana hata na movie hizi ma afro cinema. Hata hizo tu unaona mse pale main character alianza tu akiwa maskini, ni dem alianza akiwa maskini. Alafu akaamua atafocus tu na masomo na pesa, alafu ndio mwanaume atajileta.
Bas.
So hebu imagine unaona watching tu hizo vitu unaona. So kuna ka point hapa nikigrow hivi bila story ya wanaume sana. Nipate tu do yangu wanaume baada. And you know imekuwa mbaya hadi imefika place hii mademo wanasema mimi so long as tu nipate tu mtoi
niko tu sawa. Even parents are starting to tell women, because najua kuna threshold, najua ubaya babes is we have what do you call this, a time lapse. There's after a certain age you can't get children, so for you it's limited. For men it's not necessarily. Even at 80 you feel pressure, that's when you want a kid, it's actually possible.
And I was actually talking to some guys naambia aje hakuna haja tushinde tumelia ati oh ladies are so empowered sijui nini. Hata si wanaume tunakosea bana. Kwanza wanaume wako na pesa mna promise madem vitu zingine, hata ukisikia dem anakuambia hey, let me give you an example. Mimi kuna dem tuliingia na yeye kampo bana. Udem tumejua na yeye tuko kwa line ya first year.
Right.
Mamake hata akanijua tu juu ile tu ati hey, kijana
there's a nice boy here.
Unakaa Kierero. Wewe nikuulize, huku unaweza prefer mtu akae hostel ama nje? Nikamwambia ai, huku nje ndio iko sawa. Akae nje. So actually mimi ndo tulienda na madhe kutafutia udem keja.
Right.
And hawakuwa fiti vile, so alianzia na kamatres na gas moja. Wacha nikwambie, to cut the long story short, sasa tunaongea na wewe na mtembeleaga najiuliza nilikosea wapi? Where
did I go wrong?
Who cast me?
Nilikosea wapi? Yaani kuna vitu hata babangu hana, na babangu amekaa industry for 30 years. Yani hii fridge ni yako. Sikia. Hata nataka twende tukule lunch. Hello, nitumie 10k ndio hiyo imeingia.
Haya.
Unapata mtu anampromise mimi nataka hata nikukombolee nyumba Lang'ata. So long as uache kutembea
na
akina toxic. Mimi sasa ndo nitakuwa nakwambia watu wenye utaonekana nao.
Okay.
Nataka kuniambia dem mwingine akiona huyo ako hivyo naongea. Unajua you ladies mnaongea.
We talk a lot.
Sikia mimi kwenye nimefika sasa hivi mwanaume hizi niambia shehe.
By the way,
acha nitafute tu gari yangu nini na niko fiti. Yaani mimi naiangalia that perspective.
Right.
So inaenda way back.
I like what you've said because even in the last episode of Bad Talk, it came up of when women are talking, kama dem hiyo maisha ndio naona. Right? There's your level ya kufika. You know, during our parents' time, it was said, and that's what was said in the last episode of Man Talk, is walikuwa naanza na stool, mattress, munaenda pamoja kama mtafika fridge, na microwave, kama mtanunua sofa set, you know? That was the style. You go growing together, rent, growing. If you're building a house, slowly. So even us as children, we grew up slowly. Ulikuwa unaona, aya, peros wamefika. Sasa kuna there's a car, there's 2 cars. Haya, so mama anaendesha gari yake. You used to see slow projection. But when unasema at 25, maybe I'm a second year or third year student, apartment imelipiwa.
Kona academio.
Yeah, niko na academio.
Naambiwa nini?
Najua mimi niko na kagari kangu kadogo lakini sikununuliwa na mzee, please. But I hear you, and for young women, you're making that jump very early on in life. And so these older men who maybe are married, it's a sponsor, or maybe he's not married, he's single, but okona means, you're being given so much access to so much money, it's making it so hard for a young man who, but when you umesema hajafika industries of 30 years.
Yani bwana hata kuvaa tu mkiingia first year ukilinganisha alafu anakuambia hii inaitwa Gucci bag, hii ni 30,000. Unajiuliza ngoja.
Wait a minute.
Na haugojei help. Na uko na kitu ya 30,000.
Imagine.
Yani,
na unatembea nayo tu just.
Actually mimi hata watu unauliza ati wanaume wa campus hawasomi kwa nini? Mbona wanapata depression? Si hadi wanapata depression kwa masomo ni ngumu. Sasa inafika mahali wasichana wenye mlikuwa mnasoma class now. Unaangalia hivi na unajikompare bwana. Wewe bado uko kwa bed sitter. Yaani unaangalia maisha yako aingiani.
Yeah.
Yaani vitu mingi zi change. Na madem wanakuambia mimi hata si plan kuolewa, sioni. Don't uko serious au plan kuolewa? At all.
Salim, you are really listening to Toxic and you're looking very shocked and appalled.
Yeah, kabisa.
Were things different when you were in university?
No. Let me say things have changed. Things have changed. Because nowadays, let me go back to what Prof first said about strategy. You know, I'm not. Let us not say that men are not working hard. It's not that they are not working hard. They are working hard.
Yeah.
We have men who are working hard. Enda kwa barabara, wako kwa boda.
True.
They are doing what a man is supposed to do. End up hapa kwa barabara saizi. I was telling Prof Badaya and I was namwambia kutoka tao mpaka hapa. Angalia wanaume. They are working.
Yes.
They are going somewhere to do something. But look at our women. Yes, we have sisters at home. We have mothers, aunts at home. But most of them, look at their lives. The kind of wealth they are accumulating. Wengi wao. Ni vile tu my brother is saying here. Si hivyo virahisi. It's coming in, si vigumu ni virahisi. Inaingia virahisi. But for a man, it is very hard.
It's harder.
You have to die to make ends meet.
Okay.
But most women, like the other day I saw on this certain television, and I saw this young lady. She's very fine. And this old man, in fact, rest in peace. And then you wonder, what was happening? Tomorrow you see that lady with a Mercedes-Benz or with a certain big vehicle on the road.
Okay.
And then you say we are successful. I'm not saying we don't have women who don't know how to work hard. There are those women who know how to work hard, get it right, do it right. But there are those whom we define that they're successful, but at the end of the day, they are not good examples. I don't want to mention names, but we know them.
Yes.
Look at what they're trying to do, trying to become mentors to our young girls. The other day I saw a young girl saying, I want to be like this person. But you look at this person. Does this person reflect a life that even my own sister can
You'd want
emulate
her to, yeah.
or can walk on
Copy
that path?
paste.
Yes. We find that in campus, young girls were working hard.
Yeah, still.
They were working hard.
True.
And
Our mothers.
Our mothers were working hard. My own mom was working hard. And she did her best. Mpaka leo niko hapa. Nowadays, where I live, there's a campus somewhere there.
Yes.
I tell you the truth, I wonder. That is why most of us young men out here, apart from Mr. Ezekiel here, are very single. Why? Because these women, as much as we are saying they're empowered,
Yes.
some of them are empowered negatively.
Okay.
And that is why we call them successful.
Right.
And that is not how it's supposed to be. I think it has to change. And
You know, I agree with you because unfortunately, and I'll find the correct statistic after the break, but if you search up the top 10 wealthiest women in the world, majority of the women on that list are wealthy either from inheritance or from divorce.
Exactly.
Right? So there's still the example of the very, 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 very successful woman doesn't necessarily come from wealth, or that's not who we put up on a pedestal.
Very true.
But there's very good examples like Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
See,
Kamala.
she's the new vice president
Yeah, congratulations to her.
of the United States of America.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
First woman vice president, first black, first Southeast Asian vice president. She's broken a lot of barriers.
Yeah, true.
Now, Kamala Harris got married at 49 years old. So she had a very, very big career in politics and in social work. And she met her husband much later on in their life, much later than the average age. 49, 49 is quite...
For a lady, imeenda sana.
Right?
Ah.
So there is also that aspect of what you guys are talking about, of women work hard first, then maybe love ikikuja, ikuje. The ones are saying they don't even want to get married, but they're like, okay, if I met that amazing guy who they doubt even exists, then I would go that way. But you guys have raised very, very interesting points. And Prof, I want to come back to you because as he has pointed out, you're the not so single man here. And it's good because I think also there's a conversation of good relationships that's not happening. Zile zote tuna highlight media, zile zote tuna highlight social media are the negative stories. We're highlighting the divorces, we're highlighting the breakups, we're highlighting the social fights. There's no one coming and saying, hi, hello, my name is Suzanne and I'm in an amazing relationship and a wonderful marriage and I want to tell you about it. Those stories are very, very few. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back because I have a lot of questions for Prof specifically, but lots and lots of questions for Salim and for Toxic Mzee as well. Keep tweeting us, talk to us on social media, use the hashtag ManTalk and use the hashtag KTN Life and Style. Our social media pages is at KTN Home. Don't move, we'll be right back after the break.